July. Parliament resumes its sittings after the 3-week recess. As you are aware, the President declined to assent to the Finance Bill 2024 and sent back with a memorandum indicating that he had rejected all the clauses of the bill. So that memorandum and rejection will also be part of the business of the House. Remember that under our standing orders, when the President sends a memorandum of that nature, any member who wants to overturn that memorandum or any provision therein must garner 2/3 of the members of the House. That's about 233 or thereabouts of members. So we will be placing the memorandum before the House. This also addresses the issue that I've seen in the media, that the bill was going to be operational within 14 days of the rejection of the memorandum. That is not true, and we have no provision in law or under the Constitution for that. The bill is in limbo, is in purgatory, so to speak, awaiting the next vote on it in the House. Following that rejection also, government, in furtherance of the austerity measures now being undertaken and the stress in the budget processes, has brought a supplementary budget, supplementary one, which I forwarded to the Parliamentary Budget and Appropriations Committee. It has been conducting hearings with the sectors of government, and those sectoral hearings should be done by today or tomorrow. So a report on the supplementary budget will also be on the floor. The President also referred back the Division of Revenue Bill, which shares out our resources between the two levels of government. Given the shrinking purse that the government has, the President has indicated that then both levels of government must take some haircut on their revenue allocation. That will be on our order paper. We also have the county allocation of revenue bill, a bill that, as you know, originates from the Senate always, but ends up in the National Assembly. The President referred it back to the Senate, also advising that the counties must take a haircut on their allocations. And the Senate, I believe, after dealing with it, will refer it to the National Assembly as is required by the Constitution. We'll also be vetting the nominee for the Director General of Health, Dr. Amoth, whose nomination came to the House just before we dealt with the finance bill. The committee that vetted must now be ready with a report. It will come to the House, debated. If approved, then Dr. Amoth will be appointed the Director General of Health. We also have the health laws that we passed, which you know, Digital Health Act, Primary Health Care Act, and the Social Health Insurance Act, where the High Court had an opinion that certain provisions of the Act needed to be brought back to Parliament for reconsideration and alignment to constitutional provisions. So those bills will also be most likely presented on the floor by the majority leader who leads government business. We also have bills that are awaiting second reading in the House. We have the Culture Bill. The report will be tabled. We have the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, Bill number 18 of 2024. The report is going to be tabled. We have also party or private sponsored bill. That's only one, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Amendment Bill. We also have bills that have come from the Senate that we need to deal with. The Mang Bin's bill, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill from the Senate, and the Equalization Fund Administration Bill, Senate Bill number 14 of 2023, that we will be dealing with. Equally important, I'm sure I've been seeing a lot in the media, is the Conflict of Interest Bill, a bill that originated in the National Assembly, went to the Senate, was heavily amended. You've been hearing the EACC raising concerns. Those amendments from the Senate are now in the National Assembly and will be dealt with in this session. We have amendments to the sugar bill from the Senate, which will also be dealt with, and amendments from the Senate of the Food and Feed Safety Control Coordination Bill of 2023 and the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill number 2 of 2023. These are all bills that originated from the National Assembly, went to the Senate. Senate, in their wisdom, preferred some amendments, and they will be sent back to the National Assembly. As you know, if the National Assembly concurs with the Senate amendments, the bill moves on for assent because it will have been passed. If the National Assembly doesn't agree with the Senate amendments, then we'll end up with a mediation between the two houses, and ordinarily those mediations come up with the acceptable solutions to the bills. You also, I'm sure, are aware, I've been seeing the media, allegations that there is any restriction on the media coming to Parliament. Nothing is far from the truth, and the testimony to that is your being here before me, that you have come to Parliament to do your work as you always do. The only issue is that following the extensive damage that Parliament suffered, we have, as management of Parliament, allocated media that covers Parliament, space across the road at the Red Cross building, but we will be able to facilitate live coverage as we have always done, access to any materials from Parliament to the media, and we will be able to ensure that the safety, security of Parliament, parliamentarians, our visitors, including the media, are guaranteed at all times without any inconvenience, because we have a duty as a House of Parliament to ensure that whatever we do is open to the scrutiny of Kenyans in wherever parts of the world they are, through media circulation, media coverage. Thank you. Any question? You have many? Yeah? Oh yes, I've forgotten to inform you that we also have the process of reconstituting the IEBC. You know, the President ascended to the IEBC bill recently. It was a public event at KICC, whereafter the time started to tick. Within 14 days of assent, we must have the selection panel in place. The nominating agencies of the selection panel are Parliamentary Service Commission, that's ourselves. We've already organized, we are going to conduct interviews for the nominated candidates by the majority and minority parties on Friday this week. The Interreligious Council is nominating 2 persons. They will send the names on or before Friday. LSK, the Law Society of Kenya, 1 nominee. We have the ISPAC, the accountants body, nominating 1 person who should be sent to us by the end of the week. And the PPLC, Political Parties Liaison Committee, will be nominating 3 1 from parties that are not represented in Parliament, and 2 from parties that are represented in Parliament, the majority coalition and the minority coalition. So we hope that by the close of the week, we should have the selection panel list ready to be sent to the President to appoint a chairman out of them, and the rest be gazetted not later than Tuesday next week to start their work.